Hi everyone, how are you? So today I'm going to be coloring my new coloring page. I have drawn out a picture of Catherine, Princess Catherine, that was inspired by the recent Tatler scandal where a painter painted a picture of her in this outfit and everybody criticized it, etc. So that's been in the news the past few days, and so that inspired me to do my coloring page uh, on this picture and to have some fun coloring her in. And if you would like a copy, you can email me at det@duck.com. You can see the link below. And also, I was inspired in part by another colorist on YouTube. There are many wonderful color pencil artists and colorists uh, on YouTube, and she's done an amazing work with doing circles. So I didn't have any background. As you can see in the picture, there's a lot of like picture men behind her, old men, and William over on the corner there. But it's just kind of the background I didn't like because this is all about Catherine, right? So instead, I took a tip from what I saw another colorist on YouTube. Again, I put a link below. You can check her out. She's in Finland, and she just puts a bunch of circles. She used ovals, but I put circles behind her. So I got a big like strobe light behind her, which I may fill in or leave light. I haven't decided yet. But I just filled up the background with just circles there, and within each circle, I'm thinking of doing a little, separate little design in there, sort of bring it together. I'll see. I might put different kinds of flowers. I don't know what I'm going to do. Whatever comes to mind. So I'm going to try that for a background and to go from there. But first, today I'm going to focus on that face. I want to see if I can get her face. Now, I did have a different face on my original drawing. This is my second version of this. I fixed it up because the first version I didn't try. I tried to get it to look like her, but of course it didn't. It failed. The first time you ever draw something, it always seems to flop. First time's always a rough draft, right? So now the second time I worked on it, made it better so that it looks more like her face shape because she has more of had an ovalish shape of her face, but her face is more of a squarish type of shape. Maybe you'd say round. I think it's more square, it looks to me. But it's definitely not the oval shape. I had it too long and thin on the bottom. So now I fixed her. I'm zooming in now. So now I believe I have her correct face shape. So I'm going to go from here and color this in. Yeah, and hopefully this is alive, so I may get interrupted and have to step away for a moment. And if I do, I'll just put my little be right back sign here and just do that if that happens. Yeah, so let's see. Let's start with this face. I'm using Black Widow pencils. I got a great sheet here to put them all swatched on. I think that's from Emily Illustrator YouTube channel. So a lot of great resources and all these YouTube channels. Everyone's so wonderful and generous, and yeah, it's a wonderful community to be in. So here we go. If you want to call it a community, but it is, yeah, it's a colorist communities. So here we go. I'm going to start with the cream color. Let's put a light. And I'm using the picture you see on the left, my inspiration for the shading. So this is an older picture from a state, or first, well, not that old. I mean, I guess maybe a year or so old, probably just a year, because it was at a state banquet with King Charles, and her first state banquet after King Charles became king. So he only became king in 2023, right? Because the queen died September 2022. So yeah, a year or less than a year away. So not that long ago. Um, yeah, all right. So here we go. This one is Brown Fog. I think we use that one next. Yeah, it's called Brown Fog. All the interesting names that Black Widow pencils have. And this is from the skin color line. Black Widow Pencils has a skin color set. And so is Prismacolor and others. So this is from that. It still has the strange names though. Not strange, they're fun. Fun, playful names. They'll have made the pencil so popular. Okay. Just putting in some light shading. I'm building up slowly. I'm trying to not muck it up. After I do this, I think I'm just going to take out the black and put in the darkest parts. It was here, color pencil artists say, put in the dark parts, darkest areas of shading first. And then it's easier to determine the shading for the rest of the picture or the rest of her face. All right, so I'm going to jump right to the black here, and it's called Midnight. And let's take a look at what the darkest parts of the face are. I would say the eyelashes would be the darkest parts. Around the eyes. This is a evening time picture, so there's a lot of dark shadow, eyeshadow going on, and the nighttime makeup. I would say under the nostrils will also be black. Just use a touch of black there. Not very noticeable though. And then maybe the corners of the mouth. Now she's looking to the left in this picture. So the eyes might look a little strange in the coloring page when you're looking at it. You might be like, where's the iris here? So she's looking off to her right or to the left of the picture. So now I'm going to put her eyes in. I'm going to use navy blue. Just barely, can't really see her eyes too clearly, but just barely can make out that she is looking, because this picture was taken from far away. So you can just sort of make out she's looking to the left there, like that. Okay. All right, so next I'm going to use the mahogany brown for her first, starting with her eyebrows. Then I'm going to use for the darker area of the eyebrow, I'm using mud, darker brown there, darker area. I'm also going to lightly put in some shading for the eyeshadow. Seems to be wearing brown eyeshadow. There. And maybe take the black. Oops. Have to be careful with the black. I think not to use it too much, but there. Okay. All right. So next, I'm going to take the mahogany and do the other eyebrow. There's a very thick eyebrow style going on here. Colored in. Her makeup artist, no doubt, colored in, or she colored it in. She does her own makeup. I don't know. I assume she had a makeup artist for this evening. It was the state, being the state. I'm using the mahogany brown. What do you call it? The state dinner, state banquet. So I'm gonna use a little mud there, some shading there. And I'm taking out the midnight black again, just getting these eyelashes and a little bit more pronounced. Okay. So this is a very small little shape of size of her face I'm using here. It's very, I'm blowing it up here on the screen, but it's very small little space I'm working with. So I'm not going to go as detailed as I would with a full face picture or something. So it might look a little funny because it is so blown up. I think we've got the eyebrows there. I think it looks about accurate there. All right. So now back to the skin and the lips. Actually, I want to. She's using a kind of reddish color of her lips. I'm going to choose. Looking at my selections here, I think I'll go with Ladybug, the lighter tone. Let me pull that out. Let me see. Here we go. There we go. So we got Ladybug for the lighter part of the lip and for the darker part of the lip. I think we'll go with. I'll just put blue under it. So I'm just going to use the Ladybug. All right. So here we go. Her top lip is a little darker than the bottom lip, the lighting the way it is. And yes, I'm being very exact. The face, I try to put extra effort into the face, and the rest of it, I just sort of color quickly. That's the way I do my coloring pages. All right, so there's the lips, and then I'm gonna come back and take that blue, the navy blue I use for her eyes. If I can find it. Yeah, there it is. I'm just gonna shade the top lip a little bit, very lightly. It looks a little more purpley, the blue and the red. Come together, make a purple there. Alrighty, so let's get another pencil to shade her face here. I'm going to use a slightly, some more pink on her face. She has some pink blush on, and we got pretty pink, which I'm going to put on some pretty pink down here where I see the red tones really showing, particularly the blush here in the front, or the rouge. Ears. On the side of the nose here. Just basically wherever there's shading, I'm putting in the pink, very light. coverage of pink here. Give her some life. The face, some liveliness here. If I just use the light and dark kind of skin colors, it doesn't look. It looks more like a mannequin at the end. I want to make sure to add a lot of pinks or light reds to show that it's not a mannequin, it's a living, breathing human. Red tones are good to bring the face alive a little bit more. Yeah, so she's looking better already. Have some color in her face, as they say. All right. So next, I think I'm going to add us a little bit more here. Sort of putting in the side, the little lines there, right? Subtle smile lines and whatnot. Okay. So now I'm going to go back to, it's not what I want. I guess the brown fog again. Let me see if I want brown fog. Yeah. Let's see some brown fog here. Bring a little more shading. I don't think I've ever seen a picture where she doesn't look perfect, right? And I think that she has such a reputation for always never putting a foot wrong, and always looking you know perfect, never putting anything wrong. The makeup's always perfect, the hair is always perfect, the clothes. So I think that makes it a little more difficult. The pressure, I should say, a little more. Maybe she feels. I'm assuming. I don't know. Obviously, but she's getting treatment now, and it's very hard on the body if she's getting chemotherapy. And when you're known around the world for your looks and always looking good and a picture of health, I mean, it's really shocking, I think, to everyone that somebody so young and healthy and vibrant and would either obviously be taking the best care of herself and have the best food and whatnot, that even she gets sick like everybody else, right? So, and I don't, obviously, such a grueling treatments that she's no doubt taking, I assume. That's what she says. Not that, you never know what's really going on with anything, but if she's going through chemotherapy, like she said, it would no doubt take a toll on her physically, as well as emotionally, spiritually, and It's going to be maybe more difficult for her to want to face looking less than perfect out in public. I don't know. Especially when you're being attacked nonstop by a group of trolls who work for your sister-in-law and brother-in-law. So it's actually Harry and Meghan, even if they didn't cause her to get cancer, which some people said they blame them, saying, that they're stressing her out with everything. And some people right away blamed, them. I mean, you can't say that necessarily, but you can say that it might, I would say, put more pressure on her in coming out again and while she's recovering from this illness and worrying about how the public is going to react. Oh, hello there. I didn't know anyone was there. Hi, Linda. How are you? Yeah, she does look like a queen in waiting. It must take it out of you. Captured kindness. Oh, thank you. I'm trying. I'm trying to get the face right here. You always want to get the face right with Catherine. The beautiful face. You want to just capture it. So far, so good. I think this one's going to be much better than my first try. So it's always the case. The first try is always a mess. That's the way it goes with art. But I have a new version here of this page. You can get where I updated her face so it looks more closer to her face shape. So this will look much more like her, I believe, than the first one. Yeah. See what happens. I thought I would get it the first time I drew her because I've drawn her so many times. I realized she's my muse. I think Catherine is my muse. I love drawing her, painting her face because she always looks perfect. And there's so many beautiful pictures of her out there. She's like a supermodel. Back in the 80s and 90s, we had supermodels, and we don't have them anymore, right? But we have Catherine. She's like the supermodel. She really is, right? I mean, she is just like a supermodel. She's always looking fantastic, being inspirational, and how great she always comes out looking. And photographed nonstop, just like Diana was, or the supermodels were. Everybody wants to see what Catherine's wearing, to this or to that. Everybody wants to know. We know she's going to look fantastic, whatever she wears. So, I mean, Meghan can only dream of getting. I mean, if Catherine were to accept deals from clothing designers like Christian Dior or something, I'm sure they would all line up to have Catherine be their, you know, model, right? Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna start the hair. I'm just gonna put the brown fog, a light shade on the hair first. Start lighter and then go darker. I mean, I haven't really finished the face yet. I still have a lot. I'm just gonna do the hair before I finish the face. I'm gonna go back and forth here. I like going back and forth. So let's see. Some of the mahogany for the hair. Oh, it's darker on this side a little bit. I mean, she never has a hair out of place, right? Her hair always looks perfect. Outfits are. That's why I don't understand it. It seemed like Megan didn't even attempt to look the part. Like Catherine always, she takes her role seriously and she dresses what you would expect from a princess or a queen. And people keep saying, well, Megan wanted to be equal and whatnot. And I believe that, but at the same time, Megan made no effort to dress or look that as good as Catherine. Put so much work into it. Her hair is always falling off. Her clothing never fit right. I mean, even at her first appearance as the Duchess of Sussex, she shows up in these plaid pants where the pants are dragging on the ground. They're too long for her. She looks sloppy, and that was just the first example. Like you never see Catherine wearing pants that dragged on the ground and look sloppy. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Like, so, I don't know. I can't believe Megan's like clinging on to royal titles. And she dresses so horribly. She doesn't really make an effort to dress well. Even just recently in Africa, it's like a joke. I mean, the outfits she was wearing. I mean, completely inappropriate for a conservative Muslim, half Muslim country, right? She's wearing sleeveless things, um, very skimpy spaghetti string tops, very tight clothing, a lot of spaghetti. And you could see even when she was at that panel with the other women that talk she gave with the African women that you can't find. They removed it off the internet, and only a few clips remain that people could find. It was so bad. It was such a PR disaster that they actually took it down, and you can't find it now. I forget where I was hearing this from again. I think it was TRG, the Royal Grift. I think she's where I saw that she was talking about this. Yeah, it was total disaster. And Megan, you see Megan on stage with other African women, including the NATO woman that Megan was there to meet, apparently. Oops, I just got that out of line. And Megan's wearing this skimpy, like Spanish kind of dress. I think of like a flamingo dancing with the fans. It looked like that kind of dress, like bright red with a ruffle on the bottom. Like she was going to be pulling out some, doing I don't know, a samba or something. And all the other women on the African women there, they're all wearing long sleeves, long dresses, very conservative. And not Megan. Oh no, not Megan. She's wearing a skimpy spaghetti string top. Uh, just disaster. Just disaster. Seriously, doesn't take a genius to know that you should dress appropriately for the country you're in. But even to this day, Megan makes no effort to look regal. She doesn't make any effort to look the part. It's like she wants these titles, but she doesn't want to act royal. She just wants the title and to be trashy. And perhaps that's an Obama thing. She's with Obama. They want to trash the royals, I guess, or royalty in general. They're mocking it, maybe, trying to make fun of it. That could be it. Maybe that's part of it because Megan really wants those titles, but she doesn't want to dress appropriately, act appropriately, just laundering, stealing money, opening up all these shell corporations like Archwell and donating money to socialist causes to destroy her own country. And it's just like, what are you doing? Nothing she does makes sense. It all sniffs and stinks of deep state. That's all I gotta say. Meghan Markle. But not Catherine. Catherine's the real deal. She's a real princess. She doesn't, she's not doing this for political power. And that's it. And as a result, she has way more power than Meghan ever will. That's for sure. She's going to be a queen. She will be queen, and Meghan will be nothing but another divorcee from her second or third marriage, whatever Harry is. She'll be a single parent. Divorcee. That's what Megan's future is. Fighting over trying to get alimony from Harry. Oops. I have to step away for one. Okay, I'm back. Back again. So her face is I'm slowly building it up here, layer by layer here. Not pressing down hard yet. The very end, I'll burnish it all and I'm just sort of slowly building it up. Taking my time. Take a long time with the face, more than the rest. I'm afraid, because otherwise it gets to take forever with every part. Now, what you could do if you wanted to take a really long time, a particular drawing, but on this is eggshell I'm using right now. Sort of a light. I describe it's like an eggshell color. That's what it looks like. I'm going back to these are a little bit of the very light shade of the mahogany that I used. The shadow parts. You might be wondering. Yeah. Then I'm going to take the blue, the navy blue, and sort of shade in just very gently, lightly, gently, however you want to describe it. Put the shading in here over the brown because the blue and the brown will make like a lively shadow there. Little gray color there. Just very gently, very lightly, very light. So back to the eggshell. So I'm sort of make another layer. Yeah, so anyways, I don't know what Megan's deal is. She doesn't want to act royal, but she wants the royal titles. I'm taking the mahogany again, just being a very light shading here. And then on top of where I put the mahogany is a little bit more of the blue. Very light on top of the navy blue. Yeah. And a little bit of eggshell. And if it looks a little too bluish, then I just very gently put on a little mahogany on that so it turns to gray. See how that comes out. See, I'm always experimenting with new things, no matter what drawing I'm doing. Just trying out different shading colors, and that's why I can never gets dull. There's always new things to try out. When you're coloring or painting, even if you just do a lot of portraits, there's always new ways. So I'm going to put a little bit of blue there. New ways to figure out or try out. I'm even going to put some blue up here on top of the brown, the mahogany and mud. The blue will make it a little darker without going full on black. I tend to jump in and use black too much, and then it's too harsh. So We use the blue and the brown combination instead, while being careful not to show it or, covering any blue streaks with the brown. That's the mahogany brown, and back to the navy blue over the mahogany. I'm pressing down a little harder here, and you can see sort of burnishing it a little bit, and it's getting much darker. So see it's a nice gradual gradient there for the hair, which I didn't think of doing. Last time I was doing her hair like this, I just jumped in with black, and that was a mistake because her hair is not really black, although it may look black in the picture. It's not really black. It's a medium brown color. It's just that it's a very nighttime picture, so it looks darker. I think the brown and blue makes for a better transition there. I don't know. Get me to see if I'm liking this. I think her eyes are actually bigger than I made them look here. So I didn't just make that too big. May have gone a little too big there. Let me see. That's okay. Her eyes are a little bigger. It just looks better. Yeah. Oh, close enough. I know it looks, whoops, hanging things around here. All right, let me see if this is eggshell. Let me test this out. Yeah, okay, so back to the eggshell. Now I want to press harder here. I really want this side shaded in. All right, how's that coming along? What's going on here? I think maybe this needs to be a little bit narrower there. Her face is a little thinner. That's her ear over there, not her. Okay. That looks a little too long there. Then I'll fix this. Cover her ear. A little bit too much there. Let's see. Mm, not exactly. Let's see here. I was going to fix this. Oops. I like putzing around with it for a while. I can't figure out why this looks off. Her face. I think it's thinner. Yeah, a little too wide right here. Whatever. It's not gonna look exactly like her. What can I do? What can I tell you? As close as I could. She looks like Sarah Ferguson. I got Sarah Ferguson's face by accident. That's what happens. Fergie is in the news and it distracted me. Blame it on Fergie. Oh man, can't win. Yeah, let's make the hair a little bit darker.